We all have those teachers we can't stand. Whenever you enter their class, your face just crunches into pure anger. No matter if you love the subject, the teacher will ruin the class. All the teachers usually fall into the same stereotype, as in they hate kids and they will go out of their way to make your learning a nightmare. Whenever someone asks me my favorite teacher, nothing comes to mind. But when someone asks me what kind of teachers I hated, I'd have a handful of examples to talk about. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about the very first one. So the first teacher I'll talk about will be called Miss B. Obviously not her name, but a fitting one. She was a second grade teacher and she hated children in general, going as far to find the smallest thing to scold them for. It was also made worse because we had those crappy color change charts, giving her a way to make us feel even worse about ourselves. Every class I would constantly zone out, have a good time, get brought back to reality by Miss B yelling at me, have my day be ruined again. It became a daily routine where I'd constantly get yelled at. Because I was zoning out so much, she had enough and called me to her desk so she could be more clear when yelling. I made her more angry by getting distracted by her computer screen, causing her to slam the computer closed and change my color to the second worst color on the chart. So basically, just another regular school day. I hated going to her class because I knew I would have to write a new letter to my parents on why I got in trouble. And it was more insulting they would read the letter and tell me to write it again if they didn't think it was good enough or if my handwriting was sloppy. Well, joke's on you, Miss B. You can piss off. The only thing I learned in your class was to daydream about dragons. It may just sound like I'm complaining about this teacher because I was mad she got me in trouble every day, and I completely am, but she should have handled those situations like an adult instead of acting like a child. One incident I remember all too well is when we had a Veterans Day assembly. When we all went back to class, Miss B noticed two students were moved to tears by the presentation. Obviously, she needed to discipline the students for doing something this offensive. She left the door to the classroom open when she was scolding the kids, and all of us could hear her screaming her lungs out about how there is no reason for either of them to have cried. I ended up talking to another student, a kid that went about 2 years after me, and ended up saying, "Oh, she was the best teacher I had. She was so nice and understanding. She was incredible and even allowed us to use our phones." I have no clue what happened between when I was in her class and when this kid was. She probably had a sudden realization about how awful she was, but it still doesn't neglect the way she treated me and the hate I feel to this day about her. I told him how she was incredibly rude to everyone in the class and how she was a witch. We argued back and forth for about 10 minutes before I just didn't care anymore and let him have his opinion be the best. Miss B is only one of many other horrible teachers I've had, but there are so many other horrible teachers that have also ruined the schooling experience for other kids. But of course, I should probably say something positive. I guess the best part of my day was leaving and throwing out the letter of what I did wrong. If you want to hear about other horrible teachers like Miss Hippie or Miss Jackie, obviously just placeholders, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for watching my first proper video. That's it for now, and drive home safely.